Good afternoon, it is Jane. And on today's What Whip and Coffee, I don't have coffee. I have hot cinnamon, well it's not hot, it's cold cinnamon spice tea. And I just spent the last 20 minutes cleaning up a mess. I dropped the 32-ounce container of vanilla yogurt, putting it back into the refrigerator because I made a fruit salad for dinner that I'm going to tomorrow, bringing fruit salad. And yogurt is one of the main stars along with cream cheese in it. Yeah, you kind of take your fruits, and what I did is I drained a can of mandarin oranges and a can of pineapple chunks in juice. Drained those, and I did reserve the juice just in case. And then in a separate bowl, you add blueberries, strawberries, the mandarin oranges, the pineapple. Izzy! The cream cheese, about a block of cream cheese softened, and then you mix in the as much of the vanilla yogurt that you want. Add a little bit more vanilla, some brown sugar. Mix all that up in together. Add some pecans, and there's your fruit salad. The traditional way, a lot of people use it with grapes and nuts, with the pecans or walnuts or whatever your nut choice is. But I like pecans. And it's a light summer fruit. It's pretty light. It doesn't really give it a real strong coating, but it's good for the next couple of days. So generally when I used to make it when Thomas was alive, because that was one of his favorites, I'd make a big batch of it and it would last close to 4 days for us, having it for dessert. In place of the yogurt, you could use sour cream, believe it or not, or you could replace it with whipped topping and the cream cheese. You do need the cream cheese because it gives that little bit of a cheesecake flavor to it. So you do want the cream cheese in it. But that's something that I make quite a bit when I take to things, and it's one of my favorites. It's easy. Of course, right now strawberries are a fairly decent price. I did get those gnomes finished, and here's the first one. And he's got his blue and his green beard, and there's a little baseball button for his glove. The other fella had wanted the tie-dye. So what I went with was that crayon yarn and just cut the fringe. They did not want their, there's the little baseball button, and P for the Phillies. Now, after I crocheted a chain and then sewed it on in the shape of a P, I realized I probably could have used a chain stitch in embroidery and embroidered the P on. Not thinking, but it's done. So those gnomes are ready for the boys to go to get their little gnomes. And of course, you do take a little magic marker and draw the baseball in there on either side of the hats. Didn't put the stitching on the baseball, just left them plain. Those are ready to go to the boys. I'm excited to get them off to the boys. I know that they've been looking forward to them. Last night when we had our Awana Awards, and they're in my group. They're in my Sparks group. Got the awards. As soon as got the awards, one of them turned around to me and said, "Are the gnomes almost finished?" I said I have to put the P on them, and I have to sew on their glove and put a baseball in the glove, and they're ready for you. You'll get them Sunday. So they're excited about getting them. But anyway, I decided I am going to work on the honeycomb blanket. I do want to get that out of the way and over with, that kind of thing. It's been kind of toasty here. So, hang on, need to answer this. Sorry about that, folks. Okay, folks, sorry about that. So anyway, I am working on that blanket. That is basically what I'm going to be working on now for a while to get it finished, because I am so ready for this to be finished. And what's funny is I've got 2 more full skeins, another partial skein to go through before it'll be ready. So I don't know why I'm thinking I'm going to be done, next week, but it is what it is. What are you going to do? Got to keep working on those kind of things. The cats have been a little bit in trouble today. Miss Izzy, she got into the sewing area, and I had a container that had clips in it, sitting on a table that I've been working on some projects. She knocked it off, and it scared the bejeebies out of her. I mean, I was in here vacuuming, and I see her come flying past me and head to the bedroom. And I heard the crash, and it really did sound like glass when it hit the floor. So I went in there to see, because there's only a couple things of glass that are in there. And I was afraid, it was glass. But it was just those clips hitting the floor the way they hit. But then I came looking for Izzy. Of course, she was hunkered down on the bed, cuddled right up to my pillow. Little thing was shaking. So I had to calm her down for a little bit. But, yeah. Now, when I spilled that container of yogurt, Ronan was busy trying to help me. He likes vanilla yogurt. And he was in there just lapping and having a good old time. I let him, eat a little bit of it. Not a whole lot. But he was kind of funny. The kids, we had a fairly good turnout for the award ceremony. Most of the parents came, not all of the parents came. But it was interesting to see the children when they got awards that they weren't expecting. They knew they had the reading book awards, and some of them knew they were getting awards. Like we had one young man that finished 3 books and learned, I think, 95 verses. And so he got a statue, and he was super proud of that statue. And he should be. He worked really hard on those kind of things. But, yeah, some of them, because we gave them Christian Citizen Award in each group, except for the youngest group. And went to a male and a female. So they were rather surprised that they got additional little awards. Now, what I thought was cute is one of the young men, he was so proud of his award. When he and his mom went to the grocery store today, he wanted to wear his award. The book awards go around their necks. they're like a little lanyard, goes around their necks. So he wore his award to go get groceries. But yeah, these kids worked really hard. They did a good job. So, pretty proud of all of them. And of course, my table leader is a senior in high school. He is graduating. And so he will be moving on. And I was giving our Sparks leader a hard time. I said, you didn't give Oakton a certificate because he was moving on. She started laughing. She goes, I wasn't quite sure how to do that. But yeah, it was very interesting. And each week, they have a box that the kids get to take home. It's like a paper box, like one of the smaller boxes that you get at Walmart, like the 3-ream. And each week, one child would get to take that box home, put something in it. And then the fellow that started the Awana group there in the church will take the box and he will look at the item that's in it, and then he will relate it, he will tell a story about how it relates to Jesus or the gospel. Well, last night the young man had put in a baseball glove. And this young man did not know that this fellow was a baseball player in college and in high school. And in college, they were practicing, and he caught a ball coming at him at 70 miles an hour. And the pocket in his baseball glove popped. The baseball swung up, hit him in the left eye. When they got him to the emergency room, he was partially blind. The doctors would tell him it changed the shape of his eye completely as well. And the doctor told his parents that he would be blind in that eye for the rest of his life. And his parents were part of a church. They were in choir practice. When they heard it, the choir started praying for him. Went around to several different prayer groups around the country and around the world. There were thousands of people praying for him. So he got to see the power of prayer. He has better vision in that eye than he does his right eye now. And he can see completely out of it. So that was rather interesting to hear his testimony, because many of us never heard that story before. Some of us knew that he was a baseball player, but many of us did not know that he had been in a serious accident. So, yeah, rather interesting, to hear that story. And it was a lot of fun getting to meet a lot of the parents. Many of the parents I know, but and what's funny is some of the grandparents that came. In this group, there's one lady, she was sitting across from me, and we were talking because we go to an art class, drawing class, where we draw together. So we were talking about that, and then her grandkids came in. She said, these are my grandkids. And I said, oh my goodness, I didn't know they were your grandchildren. And she goes, why? I said, we both have a love of gnomes, and I'm currently making the boys gnomes. So that was rather interesting, to hear that, to find out that she was these boys' grandmother, which I did not know that. So it's a lot of fun. Yeah. It's been a fairly nice day today. I did get out and I did get a little bit of the bamboo cut down. The bamboo that I'm cutting now, I'm in an area where I can actually pour poison down into it to kill that root system. And my lawyer had been teasing me, and this is the estate lawyer. He was teasing me about it. He said, you know, if you're not afraid, because we were talking about the bamboo and it came in with the grass. And he said, well, if you're not afraid of cancer, you know, you could get the poison and pour that down into the roots. I said, yeah, I'm just not going to do it around where the water drainage is, because that goes straight into Susquehanna River, and I just don't want to. I know it's a small amount, but I don't care. I don't want to put that out there. So I'm just using natural things in that area. And hopefully it'll kill off those rhizomes that go that way anyway, you know, over here. I had a couple of plants that I need to get planted. Our church, for Mother's Day, they handed out some flowers that were in pots, you know, small pots. So I'm needing to repot those. So I've started gathering up some things to repot them and put them in a pot separate. Had that ready, but I just hadn't finished it. Finished that in a little bit because it started getting a little too hot. And I'm a delicate flower. I can't handle the heat anymore. So I came inside. But yeah, it's been a week here, guys. So it's been a busy week. I didn't get to film some things that I wanted to film. So I am working on that this weekend. And of course, this weekend there's a fiber festival, which normally we go to each year. So we'll be heading out to it. This is one where usually a woman brings her sheep dogs and some sheep, so you can see how the sheep are rounded up. So we'll go out there and see that and see the different yarns. And I had already decided I'm not buying any because I've got plenty. And I've not gotten to the, you know, the fibers that I would like to work with, those nice wools, silks, those kind of things. So I am going to stay away from buying. But I am going to go look at the pretties. And they generally have some interesting displays there. So that'll be quite fun to look and see. And I was kind of laughing because I had a friend ask me about how long it takes me to vacuum the house. I'm going to say it takes about an hour and a half to completely vacuum all the rooms. It's vinyl flooring, so I do vacuum first, and then I run a dust mop over it to catch anything that the vacuum didn't get. And then I usually mop, and generally that's an all-day affair for me. So I have kind of decided this house is a little too big for me. So, and I do have someone that had asked about, you know, maybe renting out one of the rooms. So I'm looking at some options, trying to decide what to do with that. Whether I really want to rent it out and have another person here. Although my sister highly recommends it. She does it in Texas in her home. Of course, she's got, was it 1, 2, 3? It's a 6-bedroom home that she has with 3.5 baths, I think. And she rents the upstairs. And what she's done is divided the upstairs to where there are actually 2 apartments. And they each have a living room. They have a little kitchenette, sort of. Basically, it just has a microwave. But she generally cooks for these people anyway. She rents out to traveling nurses. So she generally cooks and asks them if they want to eat. You know, because what she does after that is if there are any leftovers, she cans those so that she has, ready meals to eat when she doesn't want to cook, or, if the nurses are out of town or whatever, But normally she's pretty good about, fixing them all meals, allowing them to eat. So she does enjoy doing that. So she's trying to talk me into that. And I'm like, I don't know about that, Debbie. Because they would have to share the living space. They could have their own bathroom completely to themselves. But it's just the idea of someone living with me. Having to get to know someone. What if they're not nice? What if they seem nice, Then they turn out not to be nice at all. You never know. You just never know. I have been sewing off and on the bags. Normally when I sew, I will sew 2 or 3 days to get the bags completely done. I've been kind of taking it a little bit at a time, just because I have decided I want to enjoy my time, relax a little bit more, that kind of thing, instead of always doing something that I don't consider fun. Although I do enjoy sewing, I just don't consider cleaning fun. That's not really something I'm gung-ho about. I mean, I like having a clean house. I just wish there was somebody else that would do it. So, yeah. I think this one is going to be a short one. My voice is starting to give out, so I need to let it rest. So I'm going to let you go for now. I'll probably come back and do another video some other time, but I'm going to let you go for now. All right, guys, I hope to see you soon. Always be kinder to yourself and get out there and see this big, beautiful world we live in. See you guys again soon. Bye.